Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Titans Return Titan Master Brawn. This is one that kind of threw everybody for a bit of a loop because, number one, Brawn was never a headmaster. I mean, that hasn't stopped them recently, but it just seemed really strange that they would take a very prominent character like Brawn and do this to him. So I kind of feel bad for him. I mean, Brawn would absolutely be a great legend-size figure. So putting him in this Titan Master scale kind of seems weird. But you got his head right there, the little figure. You can see that his vehicle mode kind of sort of resembles his little mini-bot look, which is kind of cool. You can run to the back of the package and you got that same, compatibility play pattern sort of thing where if you wanted to, you could take Brawn and put him on a deluxe Voyager or Leader class figure. I don't know which one you would want to do that for, but hey, you can. Then obviously you got the Transformers name and Generations with Fort Max's head there in the back. So like I said, this is one that I think a lot of people are kind of scratching their head about. But who knows, he might turn out to be pretty cool. So for the packaging on him though, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get this guy out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Brawn opened up and out of its packaging. And much like I said in my 8-Face review, I really do think that Brawn here is a character that a lot of collectors would have preferred a full-size figure for. Probably even more so than 8-Faces because Brawn is a little bit more of an iconic character. So the reasoning for putting him in the Titan Master kind of line is a little bit strange to me. I honestly, I don't get it very much. Here you have one of his modes. It's like a little hover kind of mode. You can see that he kind of sits here, and obviously there's no wheels or anything, so I guess you just kind of have him floating around or something. It kind of reminds me of the little speeder bike thing that Rey used in The Force Awakens. It kind of has a similar kind of feel to that. I don't know. But you can see you got that same color scheme that Brawn's always had, with the green and the yellow. You got a nice Autobot logo there. And then obviously he just pegs in. You got the two little pegs here on the back, and you got the holes on the bottom of his feet. So setting him there, well, I want to have the Autobot logo kind of hanging out there for you. But for the Brawn figure, I guess, I mean, it's pretty decent. Again, you got newly molded parts on here. I'm a little bit disappointed in the fact that they didn't paint his face really at all. I mean, it's just molded in this green plastic. It would have been nice if they put like a silver splash on there or something like that just to kind of break up some of that look. But in general, I think it looks pretty good if it'll focus there for you. I think that the sculpting looks pretty nice. You can see that it does have a kind of brawnish sort of look to it. But overall, I mean, like, decent looking figure. I do like how this guy actually turns out in terms of his articulation. It is all the same. You got the little ball joint here for the head area. Little ball joints here for the actual arms. You can pivot them in and out a little bit. You got hinges here at his hips. These ones are actually pinned in. I pulled his arm off. I'm sorry, Brawn. You can see that he's got pins for both his hips and his knees, which is something that some figures have, some don't. I don't know if that's a running change kind of thing or what, but you do have a nice range of motion there. You also have the bend for his knees. I do kind of like the pin because it does make it feel like these are a little bit more solid as opposed to the ones that just kind of friction tab in there. So that is an improvement, and hopefully it's something that kind of continues on. Now for his transformation, again, you just roll the feet back, and there you have Brawn, and I mean that is a great Brawn head sculpt. I mean, no question about it. You got a nice kind of blue paint. You got some nice silver there. You can see that the dome for his head is this nice darkish color. Got a nice grimace on his face. So I mean, I really love that head sculpt, but it's weird because, like I said, what do you put this on? I'm gonna bring in Hardhead because he's hanging out here, and I guess he, seems like he'd be somebody who would like fitting on Hardhead, I guess. But I'm gonna rotate his head around because the regular way didn't seem to fit on there very well. So put that in there, and that actually kind of looks pretty cool. It's a little bit hard to see because I'm angled down, but that doesn't look bad, honestly. So if you wanted to put that on there, you could do it. It kind of works. Maybe put that back like so. There, you got a whole different kind of character. I mean, obviously the green's not the same kind of tone as the rest of the figure, but it works. And then obviously, you know, all these figures are roughly the exact same size and everything. So you do have that same kind of scale going on with all these little Titan Master little dudes. So get their heads rotated around. You can see size-wise, they're all the exact same. So that consistency plays through. But for his little vehicle, all of them have the, you know, this kind of triple changer sort of gimmick. You can see he's in this little hover mode, and then you just rotate these pieces around, take this little section, you want to tuck this around, you kind of make a little seat there. So you rotate these around like so, bring that back, and here you have his other little vehicle mode, and as you can see, it does have a fairly decent resemblance to how he used to look in terms of G1. You got a nice little kind of grill section right here in the very front. You got some headlights. Obviously, he's got little treads here instead of wheels. He doesn't roll or anything, which is kind of unfortunate. It's just kind of a friction kind of thing, but I guess you also take this, you rotate this around, and this is actually a little bit tricky to do. You got this little piece right here that you plug his head into, but you kind of have to hold that little piece up because that's the other thing. I mean, he does become a gun, and that whole thing slides down. So you kind of have to hold it up and then fit the head in there, and it's actually a little bit tricky to do to get it to pop in there because it constantly wants to just slide back. So there we go, get it like that, and that's the full-on conversion for him. Honestly, I mean, it's a cool little nod, and it definitely resembles his original kind of look, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Maybe it's just because of the struggle to kind of get the head thing in there locked in there properly. For his gun mode, like I said, you just slide this piece down. It's on this little sliding joint, and then you rotate these around like so. And here you have his gun. Again, the gun thing really doesn't matter. I guess maybe you could go like this and make it a bigger gun or something. But it doesn't really mean anything to me. They are just kind of extra thrown in pieces. But I do like this guy. I really, really do. I do, though, just wonder why, of sorts. I mean, unlike Apeface, who really appeared in only one episode of the original North America G1 series, and then had a more prominent role in the Japanese series, Brawn here was through a lot here in the North American series. So it seems weird that they would kind of relegate him to a secondary kind of status. I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's one of those things that if the Transformer Collector Club and Bakan was still around, I could totally see them taking this, you know, and almost leaving that head, and then heck, you know, maybe bringing this guy and repainting him to kind of match a little bit more. But until we know what Hasbro's doing with their, you know, actual Collector Club kind of thing, I don't know what you would do with this guy. It's a great head sculpt. I just don't know what you do with it. But obviously, you know, that mix and match play pattern really is going to appeal to kids, I think. Collectors, I don't know necessarily if these Titan Masters are figures that a lot of collectors are going to be going for, but I still think they are pretty cool. And even if collectors really don't like them, I mean, they're pretty cheap, so, you know, if you need a Transformer fix, this is a good way to get it. Now, he, as well as the rest of the second wave of Titan Master figures, are currently hitting various retail locations right now. So if you're looking for this guy, good luck and happy hunting. Or if you don't want to do that hunting, there's always Big Bad Toy Store. So all you need to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this guy as well as the rest of the new Transformers Titans Return figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video to please like and share it. Also be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you never miss a future review of mine. And as always, until next time, I'll talk to you later.